Hello, I'm CinematicCritic, and you're getting the first ever YouTube exclusive. This is actually really cool. I decided that I'm actually going to I'm still going to post the full review that's available now on Facebook, but I'm also going to do a shorter review, just basically summarizing everything here on Facebook so that it's instantly available, so you guys instantly get CinematicCritic opinion on the film. And tonight's film that we're going to start this off with is we're going to kick things off with, and I get to do 2 reviews, so 2 practices, that's pretty cool, is Rock Dog. Now, as I said in my other review, one of my biggest issues was the side characters. They don't really focus on the side characters. These side characters, I forget the names of, because they're focused. There was one girl side character in the rock band who's focused on for all of 5 minutes total in the film. There's this other guy that's played by Kenan Thompson, nonetheless, that's with her. And he's kind of like the zen, zoned out guy, and again, not very important. It's like when Bodhi, the main character, tells the truth, but it's an amazing truth, so no one believes him. He's the guy who does. It's that type of thing. You got the father, who wasn't totally your stereotypical father in that, he actually after quite some time of trying to persuade him not to, does actually let Bodhi go to the city to try to be a musician, but says, if you fail, you come back and you don't do it again. Something like that. And then there is this Ox character who is one of the side characters, probably the only side character that actually has a point in this film. He is our narrator, although he does disappear. The narration disappears in the second act and the beginning of the third act. He really only appears in the first 20 minutes and the last 10 minutes of the film. The wolves, on the other hand, the wolves kind of steal the show. You got these 2 idiot wolves, these 2 right-hand men, as they are, or in this case, right-hand wolves, and one of them's a total idiot, can't do anything right, and the other guy is the guy that's the bossy one, trying to boss him around how to do this, and everything goes wrong with them when they try to capture Bodhi to hold him as a hostage, or as it ends up happening later in the film, get information out of him about finding out that this army that the Tibetan Mastiffs have up there is actually just all of the sheep dressed up in Tibetan Mastiff costumes. Yeah, and that's the whole idea from start to beginning, and that's when the wolves go up and attack them, and I won't tell you exactly how that ends. You can check out my full review for that, which will be coming up hopefully soon. Those are the characters. Now the main characters, however, on the other hand, Bodhi was actually done pretty well, although he is kind of moronic in many cases. They play him as the fish out of water because he's never been in the city before. He doesn't know what some stuff is. They don't go far enough with it, and they don't dial it back enough. They never really have him learn. We've got another guy in here named Angus. He's like this rock star that Bodhi is chasing after, and about 30 minutes in the film finds him, and 45 minutes in the film he's playing a song for him and helping Angus make his own song, because Angus is crunched under time. He's only got 3 days to make a song, and when Bodhi comes back, he's only got 2 days, and he sent him off again, and then he's only got 1 day, so he brings Bodhi in, he releases the song, and he takes full credit for the song, not giving Bodhi any credit for it. It's like the stereotype of what a rock musician does. I like to think that rock musicians wouldn't actually do that, but it's like it's one of the stereotypes, like, oh, we wrote a song, now he's going to take full credit for it. And that is true. But that's very quickly turned over 10 minutes later in the film. Now, I think one of my biggest issues is that Bodhi doesn't even have an issue, doesn't even bring up the fact that Angus stole his song. So there's that. And there are other moments like that in this film that were an issue. I won't tell you about how the battle goes down all that much, but I'll tell you in the end, all the wolves are happy friends except for the big bad wolf, pardon the pun, who is their leader, and he gets blown away by the main, I keep wanting to say bull mastiff, but it's a Tibetan mastiff, even though it looks like a bull mastiff, and I could have swore once in the film they said the bull mastiff. Tells you how forgettable some of this is. It's not a rip-off as Hop as I thought, because Bodhi gets permission to leave from his father. His father says, go try it, after the wise ox sheep thing tells him to give Bodhi a chance. Bodhi goes and he gets the chance. He has to do this tryout thing for a band, and he fails. In that respect, it kind of is like Hop, because Hop fails his initial tryout. But anyway, you've got this guitar member that's already a member of the band, and he's a jerk, and he shows up for all of 2 minutes, all 2 scenes, gets a couple of lines to seemingly make it seem like Bodhi won't be able to succeed, but his lines are really more for the audience, because Bodhi, like SpongeBob, doesn't quite take it, He thinks he's serious when this bully goes and says, oh, why don't you go speak to Angus then? He actually goes to speak to Angus, and of course, convenience, which is one of my biggest things. Like I said in my other review, the full review, CinematicCritic doesn't like, another YouTuber, CinematicCritic doesn't like liar reveal plots. I don't like plots that constantly use convenience. Like, there's another moment where he goes and he tells the two out of 3 members that he made friends with in that band, like, oh, you gotta come check this out. I met Angus. Angus, he's right over here. And conveniently enough, at that same point in time, the wolves suck Angus up with some vacuum cleaner thing that was intended, of course, for Bodhi, but sucks up Angus, and turn the corner, and guess what? Angus isn't there. And Bodhi's like, no, he was here. And Kenan Thompson's character is like, I believe you. And the girl is like, I don't really, and there's no closure on the girl. Like, yeah, it makes them seem like maybe the girl and Bodhi want to be a couple, or what is her relationship to him? Didn't say this in my other review. What are their relationships? Are they going to be friends? They don't even specify that, not even in the end. And I think my biggest issue with this was, because I only want to make this 10 minutes as opposed to my 20-minute review, I think my biggest issue of this was that while it had a great setup and a pretty good act 2, man, did you really foobar it up on the ending. There should have been closure. You should have added some more twists. I was looking for something more, because it started out very unique, and then it kind of went down the Kung Fu Panda route, and then it deviated from Kung Fu Panda and went down the Sing route. Although I would say that it has a better story than Sing, and yes, I would even argue that the main characters are better. They don't try to overload it with all these different characters. The side characters aren't really that good, but the main characters are, and the 2 side wolves are at least good. So if you want to see this in more detail, I go over it a little more in the full CinematicCritic review, the official one, which will be coming up. But I think this is definitely something I'm going to do from now on, just to give you guys an immediate opinion now that I have unlimited data. Thank you, Verizon, for coming back to unlimited data. I can upload it just like this. So let's say I want to make this 10 minutes long. If you haven't subscribed yet, go to CinematicCritic on YouTube, subscribe. If you have subscribed but you haven't liked the Facebook page, go to the Facebook page, like the Facebook page. You'll get to see me do it live. Just live. This isn't live. It'll be posted in 5, 4. CinematicCritic signing out.